Hey, Celtics Nation. We're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved Boston Celtics. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. This way, you'll always stay up to date and never miss out on any exclusive news. The basketball world woke up to a whirlwind of disbelief as the Boston Celtics, one of the most iconic franchises in NBA history, dropped a bombshell announcement that instantly took over every conversation in sports. Out of nowhere, and with timing that feels almost cinematic, the Celtics confirmed that they had acquired Kawhi Leonard, the quiet superstar from the Los Angeles Clippers, in a move that seems ripped straight from a fantasy trade machine. Nobody saw it coming. No insider whispered hints. No vague tweets stirred suspicion beforehand. It simply happened, and now the NBA landscape feels shaken to its very core. Fans in Boston are already flooding social media with green-clad photoshops of Kawhi hoisting a Larry O'Brien trophy, while analysts scramble to understand how the Celtics pulled this off onto the radar. It's the type of deal that redefines expectations, erases assumptions, and makes the rest of the league sit up in stunned silence. Leonard isn't just any player. He's a two-time Finals MVP, a defensive monster, and a proven clutch performer whose legacy includes some of the most iconic postseason moments of the last decade. Now, he's wearing Celtics green, and everything feels different. The whispers about this trade are as fascinating as the deal itself, because everyone is asking the same question. How on earth did Boston pull this off without a single leak? In an era where player movement is usually telegraphed weeks in advance, where agents and reporters trade breadcrumbs like currency, the Celtics front office executed what feels like a heist under cover of darkness. Reports suggest conversations with the Clippers only gained serious traction in the past 2 weeks, but even that feels too fast and too clean for a transaction of this magnitude. Kawhi Leonard was considered one of the least likely stars to be moved, given his reserved personality and carefully managed career choices. Yet here we are, staring at a blockbuster that no mock trade dared predict. Some insiders are even whispering that Leonard himself quietly pushed for a fresh start, intrigued by the stability of Boston's roster and their consistent winning culture. If true, it makes sense. The Celtics are not just a team. They're a machine that reloads rather than rebuilds. Leonard sliding into that machine could be the missing gear that pushes them toward absolute dominance. For Boston fans, this feels like a dream materializing right in front of their eyes. Over the past few years, the Celtics built a core around Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, players who embody both talent and toughness. They've been close, painfully close to climbing the mountain, but every time, something fell just short. Now, with Kawhi Leonard in the mix, the equation shifts dramatically. Imagine a lineup where Leonard guards the opponent's best scorer while Tatum and Brown handle offensive fireworks. Imagine crunch time where defenses collapse, trying to contain three wings who can all hit clutch shots, drive to the basket, and lock down defensively on the other end. The Celtics were already a nightmare matchup for most teams. Adding Leonard turns that nightmare into a recurring one. It's not just about talent. It's about mindset. Kawhi has proven, with both the Spurs and Raptors, that he thrives in winning environments and knows how to deliver when everything is on the line. Fans are buzzing with goosebumps at the thought of TD Garden echoing with chants for a trio that could rival any dynasty the NBA has ever seen. The Clippers' side of this story, however, paints a very different picture. Once considered one of the league's most ambitious super teams when Leonard and Paul George joined forces, the dream never truly lived up to the hype. Injuries, inconsistency, and bad luck haunted the Clippers at every turn. Year after year, fans hoped this would be the season it all clicked, but year after year, disappointment followed. By moving Leonard, the Clippers may finally be admitting that the experiment failed. The return package, while not officially detailed, is rumored to include a mix of draft picks and young talent, signaling a reset rather than a retool. For a franchise that shares the city with the Lakers, the timing stings even more. Losing a player of Leonard's caliber is not just about numbers on the court. It's about losing credibility, losing the aura of being a contender. Clippers fans are left asking themselves if this was inevitable or if management simply decided to cut losses before another season slipped away. Either way, the perception now is clear. Los Angeles is no longer two superstars deep, and Boston just stole one of the league's rarest gems. The timing of this move could not be more impactful for the Celtics. With the NBA season unfolding and the Eastern Conference looking tighter than ever, Boston just sent a thunderous warning to every contender. Milwaukee and Miami suddenly find themselves facing a revamped juggernaut, while Philadelphia wonders how to match firepower that feels unfair on paper. This isn't just about winning games in January or February. It's about tilting the scales in May and June. A team built on relentless defense, deep scoring, and the cold-blooded calm of Leonard becomes almost impossible to strategize against. Coaches across the league will spend sleepless nights wondering which matchup to prioritize, which weapon to neutralize. Do you double Tatum and leave Kawhi? Do you focus on Brown only to see Leonard take over? The possibilities are dizzying, and that's precisely what makes this trade so terrifying. Boston didn't just add another star. They added one who thrives in silence, who doesn't seek the spotlight but always seems to deliver when it matters most. For opponents, it's a chilling realization. The Celtics aren't just good, they might now be inevitable. Even beyond the tactical implications, this trade has cultural resonance. Boston is a city steeped in tradition, with banners hanging from the rafters as constant reminders of glory past. Kawhi Leonard, a man of few words, fits that culture in a strangely perfect way. He isn't about theatrics, he isn't about headlines, he's about basketball in its purest form. That kind of energy feels tailor-made for Boston fans, who appreciate grit, determination, and substance over flash. It's almost poetic that a player often described as a mystery would join a franchise that thrives on legacy rather than hype. The chatter around the league suggests that this pairing could redefine not just the Celtics' future, but also Leonard's legacy. If he delivers another championship, he joins an elite club of players who've won rings with 3 different franchises. That's rarefied air, the kind of accomplishment that cements a career among the immortals. Right now, the city of Boston is buzzing with possibility. Fans are daring to dream bigger than ever. And somewhere in the background, Kawhi Leonard is probably just smiling quietly, ready to let his game do the talking. The ripple effects of this trade are already being felt far beyond Boston and Los Angeles. Around the league, executives are frantically reevaluating their own rosters and long-term plans. Brooklyn, still searching for stability after turbulent seasons, suddenly looks even further away from true contention. Milwaukee, which believed Giannis in their core gave them an edge in the East, now faces an arms race they may not have been prepared for. Miami, a team built on toughness and culture, suddenly sees its path to another finals appearance clouded by a Boston squad that might be too deep, too versatile, too relentless to overcome. Even the Western Conference is buzzing, because by losing Leonard, the Clippers might have indirectly tilted the championship balance toward the East. Denver, Golden State, and Phoenix may still dominate headlines, but the reality is clear. Boston just claimed pole position in the race for the next NBA dynasty. Every agent, every general manager, every player with aspirations of rings is watching closely, wondering whether this seismic shift will inspire other stars to demand trades or chase opportunities that previously seemed unlikely. Leonard's move is not just a deal. It's a domino that shakes the entire board. For Leonard himself, the move represents another chapter in one of the most unusual superstar careers the NBA has ever seen. Unlike most players of his caliber, Kawhi has never chased fame or spotlight, never sought to dominate headlines through words. Instead, he lets his game, his defense, and his uncanny ability to deliver in clutch moments speak for him. By joining the Celtics, Leonard puts himself in position to potentially redefine how history remembers him. Imagine if he helps Boston raise banner 18, finally surpassing the Lakers in their eternal rivalry. That would not only cement his place as a 3-franchise champion, but it would also link his name permanently to one of the league's most historic legacies. For a man who rarely shows emotion on the court, who treats every possession with the same stoic seriousness, that kind of milestone could be his most profound statement yet. Fans are already whispering about the possibility of a Kawhi statue someday standing outside TD Garden. Not because he speaks loudly, but because he simply wins wherever he goes. It's the kind of legacy that feels both understated and monumental at the same time. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, the Clippers must now face uncomfortable truths. They built their entire identity around Leonard and George, hoping to create a dynasty that could finally free them from the shadow of the Lakers. Instead, what they got was a series of frustrating seasons marked by injuries, missed opportunities, and early playoff exits. With Leonard gone, the Clippers' grand vision has unraveled, leaving the franchise staring down a crossroads. Do they continue building around Paul George, hoping he can carry the load with new reinforcements, or do they consider a full reset and move him as well? The whispers already suggest a potential fire sale if this season begins poorly, with teams across the league monitoring their roster for possible trade targets. For Clippers fans, it's a bitter pill to swallow. They have been promised parades, banners, and bragging rights, only to see their superstar walk away to a city that already has 17 championships. It stings in a way that goes deeper than basketball. It's about pride, about identity, about once again living in the long shadow of purple and gold. Losing Kawhi feels like more than a trade. It feels like surrender. But before we continue, please remember to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest news about the Boston Celtics. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. Back in Boston, though, the energy is electric. TD Garden has always been a fortress, but the anticipation now is something else entirely. Season ticket sales are reportedly surging, merchandise stores can barely keep up with demand, and social media is ablaze with fans imagining the first game Leonard steps onto that hardwood in green and white. Chants of Kawhi, Kawhi, echo in forums and group chats before he even plays a single minute. For a franchise that measures itself by banners, this move isn't just about excitement. It's about expectation. Anything less than a championship will feel like a disappointment, which speaks volumes about just how transformative Leonard's arrival is. Boston knows the weight of history, knows what it means to carry the torch of legends like Bill Russell, Larry Bird, and Paul Pierce. Adding Kawhi doesn't just add another scorer. It adds someone who can embody that relentless pursuit of victory, that stoic determination that Boston fans worship. The Garden has seen countless stars over the decades, but there's a sense that Kawhi's presence could spark a new era, one defined not just by winning, but by dominance. League insiders are already dissecting how this deal changes the Celtics playbook. Brad Stevens, now in his executive role, is being hailed as a genius for orchestrating what many thought impossible. But Coach Joe Mazzulla now faces the task of integrating Leonard seamlessly into an already balanced system. Fortunately for Boston, Leonard's game is remarkably adaptable. He doesn't demand the ball every possession, doesn't disrupt flow, and thrives in defensive schemes that prioritize switching and intensity. That means Boston's identity, tough defense, versatile wings, unselfish offense, remains intact, only now supercharged by one of the best two-way players in basketball. Analysts predict lineups that will suffocate opponents, rotations that will keep fresh legs on the floor, and a playoff push that could overwhelm even the most prepared adversaries. The thought of Leonard, Tatum, and Brown rotating assignments on defense is enough to give opposing coaches headaches. Add in Marcus Smart's leadership and the team's depth, and suddenly the Celtics don't just look like contenders. They look like destiny in motion. This isn't about tweaking the roster. This is about rewriting the league's hierarchy entirely. At the heart of all this remains a certain sense of disbelief. The NBA thrives on rumors, leaks, and speculation. Yet this trade slipped through the cracks like a ghost until the moment it became reality. That adds a layer of mystery that only fuels the excitement and chatter around it. Fans are left wondering what backroom conversations took place, what secret meetings convinced Leonard to embrace Boston, and how the Celtics convinced the Clippers to pull the trigger. It feels almost mythical, as if the league itself staged a plot twist just to keep fans on their toes. The beauty of the NBA lies in its unpredictability, and this move embodies that spirit in full. Today, Kawhi Leonard is a Boston Celtic, and the basketball world is buzzing like never before. Whether this leads to championships or chaos, whether Leonard cements his name in Celtics lore or simply adds another fascinating chapter to his unique career, one thing is certain. The NBA will never be the same again. Boston's gamble has turned into the story of the season, and everyone is watching, waiting to see how the next act unfolds. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Boston Celtics, please subscribe to our channel and give the video a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.